'cause I'm still in love with you. Wanna see you dance again, 'cause I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon. Hey guitar enthusiasts, I have a very awesome late beginner guitar song here for you, Harvest Moon by Neil Young. I'm going to be showing you some fun strumming patterns, but I'm also going to show you some different ways to spice up the intro for this song. Let's get into it. So towards the end, when we get into spicing up the intro, I will show you some other chords, but the main chords we're going to be using for this tutorial are going to be an A chord, a B minor chord, a D chord, E minor, G, and a D major 7 chord, which if you've never played it, looks like an A chord on the bottom 3 strings. I like to play mine barred, but if you're not someone who's good at bar chords, you can just use the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. And for that B minor chord, again, if you're not really good at bar chords, you can always do one of the simplified B minor chords to substitute for those harder chords. So before we talk about what we're going to do for the intro, let me just talk about the general strumming pattern we're going to be using for all of our other chords outside of this intro. And when this intro, it's like a theme, it keeps coming back into the song. So let's start with our G chord, okay? And it's just going to be a down, down, up, up, down, up, okay? 1, 2, and 4, and. But Harvest Moon has more of a swung feel to it. So instead of it being really rigid and straight, 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and has more of a swung feel. You always tell people, because if you have a hard time getting this swung feel, think of it as triplets. 1, 2, a 4, a 1, 2, a 4, because it gives you that different spacing. 1, 2, a 4, a 1, 2, a 4, And that's the strumming pattern we're going to be using for the majority of the song outside of these intro sections. So let's talk about the simplified version, and then I'll give you a more intricate one a little bit later. So this intro moves between a D chord and that D major 7 chord that I showed you. Okay? What we're going to be doing is we're just going to be doing 1, 2, and on the D chord. That's it. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you're letting it ring. So if you're not used to like letting your chords ring out, we're going to be doing that here. So it's 1, 2, and. Now, on the last and, the last up after the 4, we're going to switch to a D major 7. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, up strum. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. One more time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. All right, so that is our transition. It's a little bit of a hop to rhythm here that we're doing. We're changing the chord earlier than we usually would. Not on the downbeat, but on the upbeat. And then once we change over that D major 7, we have the and after 4, the first up. Then we have 2 more ups after that. The and after 1, the and after 2, and then we have 3 and. So that's our first down is on the 3. 3 and. So all together with the D chord, it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 3 and. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 3 and 4. 1, 2, and. Now, if we put this all together in context of the song, what's it going to sound like? Well, it'll sound like this. Come a little closer, hear what I have to say. So you can hear throughout the verse that that intro theme keeps coming in, and all we're doing is alternating between a G chord doing one strumming pattern and then that D and D major pattern. It's a very, very cool sound. So keep practicing. That might be difficult for you at first to go between the two. I would just go very slowly. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and back to G. So I would practice going between those two different strumming patterns, those two different feels, because one's a little bit more open because there's less strumming. Might be difficult at first, but keep going back and forth. And now let's talk about what we're going to do in our chorus section. So the chorus section, we get a few more chords. We have our G, our A, our E minor, and then again at the end we have that D to D major section. And we get to stay on each of these chords twice. The strumming patterns, all the first strumming pattern except at the end. So we have 1, 2, ready, am. Because I'm still in love with you. I want to see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon. Now, if you listen to the record, Neil is doing something a little bit more intricate, a little bit more difficult, and he's actually playing things up here on the guitar versus keeping them in the open position. Now, if you keep everything in the open position down here, it makes it much easier, but I want to show you guys a little extra spice if you want to sound a little bit more like the record. So we're going to be introducing 3 chord variations. We have a D chord, which looks like a backwards power chord here on the 5th string, 7th fret, 7th fret. Okay, we're just playing the bottom 3 strings. And then we have a B minor slash D, which we're gonna bar. Or you could, if you don't want to bar, you can make it look like an A. Almost sounds like we're doing something from Hotel California. So we've got bar at the 7th fret, okay? And then the next chord is gonna be a D major with an A in the bass. I like barring because it makes grabbing this, I usually grab it with my pinky. You could grab it with your 3rd finger too if you want to, but this is the shape we're going to be doing. So it's everything barred at the 7th fret, okay, on the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. And then the pinky, I like to use my pinky because it's easier for me to stretch, gets the 9th fret on the bottom string. So to review them all again, we've got the D chord here, okay? Then we've got our B minor slash D, okay? And then we have our D major 7 slash A. So you can hear we're getting, because we're playing higher up in the neck, we're getting much brighter tones and sounds coming out of the guitar. One more time, through them all, we get D, the B minor D, and then D major 7 with an A. Okay, so our rhythm's just gonna be a little bit different in terms of where we're changing the chords. The rhythm is exactly the same what I showed you before. It's gonna be down, down, up, 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 down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up. So that rhythm is not changing. Where we play the chords is changing. So we're gonna take the first chord now, and it's gonna be played on that first one. And then the next down up is going to be the 2nd chord. So that B minor slash D. So we have D for 1, and then 2 and is the 2nd chord, B minor D. So it's okay. All right. So now that you got the feel for that, the rhythm, all the next ups are going to be the 4th chord. Okay, up, 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 down, up. So we've got so this is obviously going to be a little bit more movement for you because you're going from a G chord. You're gonna have to come up here to this D note. If you want to throw this into the mix, you don't have to. Maybe you just play it at the intro and then you use the other version throughout the song. Whatever's easiest for you, do that. Remember, it's about having fun first, not being perfect. All right, but it would sound like this. Hey guys, have so much fun with this lesson. If you're a huge Neil Young fan, go check out my Heart of Gold lesson over there where I'm going to show you step by step how to do bass walk downs and really cool hammer-ons for the intro of the song. Go click on that lesson and I'll see you there.